Sophia. Hi, sweet girl. Did you want to come up here and chat with me? Hi, friends. Welcome to the Boxerville Homestead. My name's Carol. Today is episode 14, June the 5th, 2023. This is Sophia. That's a hummingbird. Butterflies. I don't know where you are, but we have, see the butterfly landing on the hummingbird feeder over here. We have a crazy overabundance of these swallowtails this year, and it's just amazing. I have been just overjoyed watching them. I can't even tell you. They are everywhere. For Memorial Day, I went up to my parents' grave to take care of it, and they were in clusters. It was just, to me, it just reminded me of all these wonderful souls, even though I was in a cemetery, but it was beautiful. So back on track, episode 14, coming to you from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. It's 72 degrees, but we have this odd wind today, which is fine. I'm a 75-degree tops girl with a breeze, so 72 is really awesome. I am on the deck in the shade of the umbrella, so I just threw a light jacket on, just because the breeze is a little chilly. I hope the noise in the background doesn't pick up on the mic. Oh, Sophie's probably laying on it. I didn't think about that. Sorry about that. I'm such a novice. As Joe would say, if you guys don't watch her, you really, really should. She's a YouTube channel as well, and it is KnitCrochetLoveByJo. She's amazing. I love her. She's the one too that says about it not being polished, and she does a fabulous job. So make sure you watch her. So back at it. Today is the 5th of June. I cannot believe it. Beautiful sunny day. And you can find me on Instagram as knitting at the Boxerville Homestead. Or is it just Boxerville Homestead? I don't remember. I'll link it all. Gmail, same thing, at gmail.com. And I'm on Ravelry as nittennurse. I'm just not very active. Oh, she's on the microphone again. Sorry about that, you guys. Jeez, I should probably listen to this, but you know I won't. I'll just hopefully it's okay. I'll link everything down below. And if you have watched before and you've enjoyed my haphazard content, see the butterflies, and my squirrel that I'm always doing, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. I see there's quite a few watchers that, good wind, that aren't actually surprised. Yeah, they're not surprised. They aren't subscribed. So it really does, as everyone says, and I know you hear it on all of the podcasts, but it does make a difference in helping the channel grow and getting it out there into, I guess, the algorithms, whatever that is. So if you would share it, if you know of anybody that you think would like to listen and see these beautiful rescued babies, share it with them. That'd be awesome. So today I have an almost FO, a lot of WIPS, you'll kind of see a theme of, what is it called? The middle-aged beige. If I'm still considered middle-aged, I'm going to be 59 in a few days. Can't even believe it. Plans ahead. Actually one addition to the vault. It's nothing big, but it's something I kind of like. A garden update at the end. I'll put it at the end. I try to do the animal updates. See the hummingbirds. They're so amazing. I shouldn't be able to watch this because I get have you noticed I get distracted easy? Garden update and the dog updates and such at the end. So that those aren't interested, they can watch or they can stop there. Also, a couple of audiobooks that I've recently listened to. I think I've mentioned in the past that I really am fascinated with the World War II era, and these both were kind of based in that time. And one was actually really fascinating with some history that really isn't put out there a lot, that actually a ship that lost more lives than even the Titanic. But there's just not a vast knowledge of it. So anyway, let's get on with it here. again, I want to start though with a couple of shout outs. One is to Katie from Duck Potatoes World. She has a YouTube channel. She's also on Instagram. She gave me a shout out on her stories on Instagram. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. And to Jo from, as I mentioned before, she is Crochet Knit Love, Jo, and I'll link both of those down below and their information. I won a skein of yarn on Jo's YouTube channel. Her son will choose the winners, and I had written a little bit about our rescue history, and I know they are dog lovers as well. She has the cute little Yorkie. Now I want to say Ella. It's Ella, not Emma. It's Ella. That makes a little racket once in a while, and I get a kick out of it because I personally love dogs. She also has Winnie's yarn, and I think now she's selling on eBay. She was on Etsy, but I know that they're really gouging the sellers on Etsy with the amount they have to pay. So I think she's on eBay now. I will also find that and I'll link that for you. So in the meantime, let's get started. Might get to see Chance here. I think he's going to get up on the settee. I'll turn it around and show you guys in a minute what they're up to. So the Almost FO, that is, let me have a drink. This is Dunkin' Donuts coffee. My buddy Brian, God rest his soul, he used to always make Dunkin' Donuts coffee for me at work, and I got hooked. So the Streamline Tank by Two of Wands. I've knit quite a few of her things, and I have several of things coming up with her as well. I just love her aesthetic. Her name is Alexis, I believe. Can't remember the last name. I didn't write it down this time. So the Streamline Tank, it is by Two of Wands. It is a free pattern or it is a paid for pattern. It depends upon how you get it. If you go to her blog and don't mind the advertisements, you can do the free pattern. And really all I did, totally it's worth the pay on Ravelry, but all I did was just screenshot the pattern down through and left the ads out and then printed it off. So I have it on stitch holders, so it looks a bit weird because I wanted to try it on. I knit this in, I have all of my little tags in here. Drops Muscat, and it's 100% cotton. It's mercerized cotton. I don't know that I would use it again. I don't really care for the slick feel of it. It is very similar to a superwash. What you would know as a superwash yarn is my understanding. It is in the color number 61, and I don't know that I would use it again. I like it, okay, but I don't like, it's really slick. And cotton anyway is super drying on your hands. So that's what I used. And it's pretty. I think I will really love it. I knit two sizes. I knit the back in a size small and the front in a medium. And I've mentioned before, some people would think it blessed. I don't find it as a blessing, but I am a large busted woman for my frame size. So knitting it in two pieces is good because I can knit two different sizes. And I just was mindful of the armhole sides, the length of it, so that it would match up. But anyway, this is it. And I mean, see, I have it on. Look at this beautiful way she did the decreases on the sides up into the straps. Is that not beautiful? And the straps are, the patterning, of course, is carried all the way down to the start. It's a pattern that you repeat of 6 all the way up. And then when you do get to the top, then you're doing 12 of this repeat pattern to do your straps. Now it says to do them 3 inches. I'm going to do more than 3 inches because I want it a little deeper in the back than the front, is my thinking. So anyway, I just need to do that. and then seam up the sides. This was knit bottom up. I want to say it's recommended US 7, but I knit it on a US 6, which is a 4mm, right? Yeah. I got gauge on that, and I liked the fabric better. The US 7, I don't know who I am. I have been knitting swatches. What happened to me? That's not me. But I liked the fabric better on it. Now, something I heard yesterday, well, I have it on all of it. No, this is back and forth. I don't know that I want to get into it right now, but I was listening to a podcast, and is it called knit out when you do knits and purls and you can see some stitches that stand out? And it's because your gauge with your purl and your knit is so different. So if you have needles that you can put a smaller size on your purl side when you're knitting flat, and the larger on your knit, you'll get a more even, consistent fabric, and you won't see is it called knit outs? I can't think what it's called. But I think that's why you see these things. I bet that was a purl row when you see those. I don't know. I'll see what it looks like when it's not going to bother me. I'm going to wear the darn thing anyway. But I just kind of wonder if that's not the case. And we'll see if it blocks out any. But I never thought about that before until yesterday, and I can't even think who I was listening to. But it made sense. And she kept doing swatches. I can see her face. She has a yarn store. Lives with her folks, I believe, in Sweden. I'll see if I can find it because it was fascinating. And so she did all of these swatches and did a swatch doing it just knit and purl, same needles. And then she did a swatch knit with a smaller needle, purl with the recommended, the larger, one size larger, and then knit with the smaller on the purl and the recommended on the knit size. And she got perfect gauge when she used a smaller needle for the purl side. She ended up with perfect gauge for the fabric. Probably makes no sense the way I'm doing it. Makes sense to me. Anyway, I'm going to try it because here I am all of a sudden. I swatch. Never used to. I just was like rogue. I mean, you know my personality. I'll just jump in and do it. Just I think why ER nursing for me is good because it doesn't matter what comes through the door. I'll just jump in and do it. So, speaking of what, I don't know if you can see University of Washington School of Nursing. Go Dogs. Class of, not going to tell you. It was a long time ago. Okay, that was so WIPS. John socks. The little summer pair. The ones that I lost, the US size 2, is it 2.75mm? Is that right? I think that sounds right. 9-inch circs. I cannot find them anywhere. I like to do 2 at a time socks because I have second sock syndrome, second sleeve syndrome. I have pay attention syndrome really bad, so I like to do 2 at a time. So I have not gone really any further on these because I'm at the point where he wants the heel, and I don't want to do the heel until I can get the other sock done. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to order another set. And I guess that's not a bad thing. I'll have them. One thing I did do is I was choosing what I wanted for the heel. So I think that one looks kind of good. It matches the little bit of that that's in it. Or the dark blue is kind of nice as well because there is some blue in this white patterning. I could do a blue heel and a green toe. I mean, because John's that kind of guy. He would love it and wear it. Maybe what I do. I don't know. But anyway, that's just kind of where I am with that. It's not really an exciting update, but I kind of have figured out what I'm going to do for the heel and the toe. I think right now, actually, I'm going to do one of each. And I guess I'm going to have to order a second set of those, I guess. So anyway, that's it. That's where John's socks are. It's my pattern. He has Fred Flintstone Feet, as I mentioned before, I cast on 72 stitches. I knit whatever he wants for, or whatever I feel like. So most of the time, he wants for a leg. I like top down. Do the heel. It's always a surprise for me and anybody else because it's like whatever one I feel like doing at the time. And then knit forever on the foot because he's a 12.5 double E. And that's it. All right, what do I have next? See, I'm trying to go like proper here today. An Italian summer scarf by an Italian knitter. She also has a podcast. I'll link it below. Definitely is another watch. Her name is Francesca, and I'm going to butcher that. I don't know if I said Francesca right. Giudici, Italian. It's probably beautiful. This is a free pattern that she recently released. I am knitting this on an unknown yarn because I bought it at Tolt Yarn and Wool when we went on I keep cutting my head off, I'm sorry. I bought it at Tolt Yarn and Wool when I went on the little field trip, and it is an alpaca, I know that. It is a breed that is, well, it's actually very close to Carnation, Washington, where they're bred. It was a trunk show, and the lady didn't stick the little tag in my bag, and I didn't notice it till I got home, and that had the description on it. So this scarf is really memorizable, and I think it's really going to bloom and blossom and grow when I soak and block it. So you start out, it's free pattern. Start out with I can't remember if it's 3 or 6 stitches, something. But you do these yarn overs. So, and it's designed to be a summer one with all of the holes and such. What I did is I weighed out my skein, what I had, and I think it was 103 grams, I believe. And so I'm actually I can kind of start to see. So what I did then is I tied a piece of yarn, I think at 49 or 48 yards in. It was 103 yards. I have no idea. I can't remember how many grams it was. It was 103 grams. Yes, because I weighed it. How many yards? I have no clue. But I put that just before the halfway point, and then I'll start decreasing. So I don't know how big it's going to be. It'll be a surprise for all of us. But it's really pretty, and I think it will be really kind of fun and lovely, especially for a summer evening. Yeah. And it's a fun, memorizable pattern. I can just pick it up, work a couple of stitches or a couple of rows, and she tells you in there how to know when it's the next time in case you lose count, how many of these garter ridges to count up, which is 5, and that makes 10 rows. And then you do your knit 2, yarn over, and then yarn over, knit 2 together all the way across till you get to 3 stitches, knit 1, yarn over, and then knit, and then slip the next 2 purlwise around. It's really easy, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know, it was just something I wanted to try. And I thought for summer, alpaca, it's kind of warm, but it's light, and I can even carry it into the fall, or it would have been nice early spring for next year. It'll be good. So that is an Italian scarf on US 6 alpaca, but I don't remember the name of it, sadly. I apologize, I keep cutting my head off, but I wanted to get more of this in the frame, and I wanted you to see the butterflies and the hummingbirds as they come in, although they've settled down a little bit. I don't know if it's the wind or what the deal is, but another cup of coffee and we'll go on. You're going to see such a pattern of what I've chose as far as colors and yarn. Oh my gosh. And I'm in the middle of a row on this one, of course, but this is the Tip Top Tank by Emily Boldwan. And again, who am I? But maybe I didn't bring it out. I did a gauge swatch for this one also. It's like remarkable. I just can't find it. And maybe I didn't bring it out. I thought I did. I had everything I thought out here that maybe not. Anyway, yeah, you're going to have to trust me. I think I've shown it actually before. This is Juniper Moon Farms Zoe or Zoe. I don't know what they call it. It is a 60-40 cotton linen blend. This is the color 30, is it 2 or 35? 32 in the color Pearl. And I bought this at a yarn shop when we went to the Tolt Yarn and Wool field trip, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was in Duval. So between Carnation, Washington and Monroe, Washington. It's a really beautiful little area if you're ever, or if you're around here and you haven't been that road yet, to hit the yarn shops. Although, like I had mentioned, Tolt has really changed a lot with the new owners, and maybe it's still post-COVID related, but it's not the old. You know how things. So I'm good with change most of the time, but some things can be disappointing. So anyway, Tip Top Tank by Emily Boldwan. I am knitting the 3rd size because of the gauge that I got. I went up on a US 4 or a 3.5 millimeter. This yarn is 100 grams, 284 yards, or 260 meters. I have 2 skeins of it. And let me see. I actually saw this the first, well, how I even heard about it was from the wind. Amber from A Lovely Yarn. She's knit it before, and I don't know if she had started it or she was talking about it on her last podcast. And Emily Boldwan, I believe this is a free pattern as well. Maker. And this is what it looks like. And it's kind of a bit of a cropped. However, I'll make it longer. I'll make it a normal size, or a normal size for me. I'm short-waisted, so I kind of score right there a little bit, but still I'll make it short-waisted. So this is, again, it's a 2-piece. Well, I'll knit 2 pieces. And all these pearls, again, I just can't even believe it. And I'm going to have to seam again. And you know what I talked about seaming as far as in the last episode, I believe, seaming up the cardigan, this striped, oh my gosh, the name of it is, I know it's Easton striped pullover, and I had to seam that. Now I'm going to have to seam this last one that's almost the FO, and this will be a seam. And one of the things I'm having a bit of a difficult time with is there are some areas in this yarn that, I mean, it's linen, so right, it's kind of going to be rustic feeling and stuff, but it's very uneven. There are some areas that are really thick. Well, thick for this yarn, not thick. I think it's picking up my face and not, let me see if I can cover my face up. Will it pick it up? Yes, see? And then you'll go down and there'll be these areas that are just thread-like down in here. And it's picking it up in the fabric. And I don't know that I like that, because it doesn't look polished. It looks a little rough. I don't know if that's going to change with blocking. And I've thought about even just blocking this much of it, because I don't know if that's going to bother me. I did a 1x1 twisted rib on the bottom. I don't remember exactly what it calls for, but it does have a kind of a fun little detailing here on the edge, which is, of course, it's rolling because of the fabric, where you knit, is it 4, and then the 5th is a purl or a knit if you're doing the other way, and then you start knitting. So I think when that blocks out, you know, on the side, you're going to see this seam on both the front and the back of it, up this area. I have a long ways to go on it. It's on US 4 needles. I think I said that. I'm knitting the 3rd size because of the gauge. I did go down a needle size from recommended. Again, I wanted a little bit more, is modest the word? I didn't want the fabric to be see-through. I don't care for them to see, people to see under the under stuff. So I did go down a needle size and then up a size. This is going to take a while, but I really would love to. I'm really trying to do 10 to 15 rows minimum a day. I have a lot on the needles right now for me, a lot, along with 2 blankets that I didn't even bring in today because I really haven't done a lot on them. And they aren't WIPs anyway. Remember, those don't count as WIPs. Those are long-term projects. So that's that. And, oh, see, I knew I had a swatch. It was right there with it. I did 2 different sizes. I did a 4 and a 5. Is that right? And I did a 3 and a 4. That's not right. I did a 4 and a 5. I didn't care for the 5, so I went down to a 4. But you notice all of this middle-aged beige. Who is it? Is it Jana from Finnish Knitting Stories? I think I've heard her say that. She's a kid to me. I love her. She's awesome. You guys, I'm sure you're all watching her, but if you don't, check her out. She's really great. Okay, the last thing that I'm considering a WIP today is Alicia's Nest Tote. It's a free pattern. I found it on Pearl Soho's website when I was diving into the dumpling bag knit along, which I'll talk about in a minute. Her name's Elisa, and she's called the Italian Knitter and Blogger. And this is actually also what went into the vault, is this cone of sugar and cream. It is, I'll just tell you now, it is in the colorway. What is the colorway? No, I can't. Oh, I have a tag. I saved the tag. It's professional here, right? No. Sonoma. That's upside down. Good Lord. So, great big cone. I love the color, so I ordered a cone. I could have got the smaller one, but I love these colors. I know I'll make several things out of it. It's 100% cotton, made in Canada for my friends up in Canada. Mary is one of them. I just love the colors. It has all of these little blips of rust and brown and a little green in it, which is, I don't know if you can see. Where's the green? The green is right there on my thumb, kind of. I just love the color. It's not showing real well because I'm underneath a hood, and color probably today is really not good, and I didn't think about that till now. But anyway, I bought this cone. I think it was, I want to say $14 US dollars, which I thought was pretty good. I know sometimes I think Joann's will have them down to like around 10, but I wasn't looking, or I don't know. Anyway, this is also a free pattern. I'm finding all these really cool free patterns lately. I also bought a pattern here, but Elisa's Nest Tote. The only thing I may do different next time doing it again is I think I would probably cast on more stitches. You start with 41 stitches, and this is just the beginning of it. I literally cast this on this morning. Anyway, it is a mesh bag. It's going to be like a tote grocery bag, and it's a 4-row repeat, and I think it's going to be cool looking. I'll have it done. Hopefully, I can't imagine I won't have it done for the next podcast. So that's it as far as what is on the needles. I am knitting this on a US 9. I think the pattern says to go up at least 2 sizes of the recommended yarn size, and I believe on this it was recommended yarn size of size 7, US 7 for needle. I didn't check on the hook, on the crochet hook size, but on a needle. I'm knitting these on my signatures, which is a 9 or a 5.5 millimeter, the ones that come undone. So you can buy their expensive cords to get different lengths. I wouldn't buy any more. They're good. I love the tip. The stiletto, I think it's called tip. It's amazing. I love it. but they are expensive. And I haven't bought any in years, but I know years ago when I was just asking for Christmas or birthday gifts of these, they were expensive. They still are, I'm sure. So that brings me to upcoming. There is a Pearl Soho knit along. I don't know that I've ever really joined a knit along, but the dumpling bag. Have y'all seen the dumpling bag? I'm sure you have. It's super cute. You know, and I don't even know that I printed the thing out with a picture of it. Let's get it up on the phone real quick. What you do to get into it, it's a free pattern. And you go to Pearl Soho's website, and you'll see where the knit along is. And you just enter your email, and they send you the link to the pattern and also a coupon for 20% off if you want to purchase the yarn that is suggested on there. This is a pattern by, her name's Jeannie Lee, and it's just super, super cute. And I know you've seen them, different ones in fabric as well, but this happens to be a knitted one. Starts with a provisional cast on the bottom. I haven't started it yet. I think the knit along started May 15th and goes to like July, maybe something. Crazy big prizes they're offering. I believe it's for in the shop, to shop within Pearl Soho, but it's like, I want to say, so join the thing. Eligible participants who sign up are automatically entered to win a $1,000 Pearl Soho gift card. Now, who couldn't spend that? Wouldn't that be fun? So, I am doing that. I haven't really chosen my yarn yet. I'm really trying to knit from the stash. So, but all the information's on the website. I will link it below in case you guys want to join in. And if you do, let me know. Or if you're already in it, let me know. Put a message down in the comment. I don't think I said it, but I meant to say it. Again, if there's new people, would you guys mind putting in the comment section where you're from? I'm kind of keeping track, and I want to get a little map up and just like put a pinpoint where everybody is. I have really enjoyed talking to people from all over the world, and I cannot even, I mean, even as small as this podcast and our subscribership is, some really awesome, cool people from around the world that I've so enjoyed. Upcoming also is the Arboreal Sweater by Jennifer Steingass. And again, I did a swatch. I know, go me. I'm knitting it, well, I knitted the swatch in the Patagonia. I even washed and blocked it. Now here's the thing. This is size 5. This is size 6. I have gauge with 6, but I like the fabric in 5 better. So it's probably what I'm going to knit it in. I've just been kind of packing it around, looking at it. I think, you know, the 6 is a little bit more see-through. And yeah, this is called Cinnamon by Patagonia. It's the organic merino. I think, do I have a ball band? Did I bring it? Yeah, right here. It's in the color Cinnamon. I think it's color 113. I think I purchased this at the yarn store in Stanwood, Washington. Stilly River Yarns, I think it's called. The pattern is, again, I think I saw this. I think Amber Lovely Yarns knitted this, I think. It is a paid for pattern. And I'm going to do the main body color in Cinnamon. And is that Leaves? I think. In this cream color, which is Ivory, color 116. And it's also Patagonia Organic Merino from Juniper Moon Farm. That's kind of a pattern today too, but I really do like the feel of their wool. And after it blocks, it is so soft. I don't think it's gonna, I actually stuck this in my bra and wore it for a couple of days just to make sure it wasn't gonna bother my skin. And I'm not terribly sensitive. and it didn't bother me. So I'm kind of excited to get this going, but I'm not going to cast it on until I get my summer knits done, at least the front, or at least one panel of the tip top tank. And then maybe I'll go back and forth, but I'd like to have it done by the middle of July, so I still have a month or so to wear it this year. It's another month or so, a month and a week. Yeah, we'll see. I should be able to do it. But I love this color. You know, my favorite color is orange, which is weird. And it's not showing here at all. I'm too much in the dark. I wonder if next to this, well, you can see the two together. It's going to be pretty, I think. If I did it behind white. It's pretty. You got to trust me. I love it. Orange isn't for everybody. And it's really kind of a rust. And if you really look at it deeply, it almost has some green in it and a little yellow. It's hard to tell. It's multicolored, and I like it. And I swatched again, as I said. That's just crazy. I don't know who I am. I also, like right away, I don't think this is giving anything away here. This is what's all that on it. Petite Knits came out with the Alice top. And I have been trying to figure out what I wanted to knit with this, which again, it's not going to get the right color. This is kind of a seafoam green, which is a color I enjoy wearing. This is by Peyton's Croy. It is in the color Sage, they call it, but it's really, looks to me more seafoam. It will require me holding 2 strands together, which I have plenty. I have 4 of these, and I think there's like a lot on each skein. I can't remember. Recommended is a US 6 anyway. This pattern calls for, it's a bulky weight, I think. Or 2 strands together. It's one or the other, I believe. I didn't read it super close, obviously. But I just knew that I did read somewhere in there. It's either, it's a thick yarn that it's done with. This is a linen yarn, linen cotton 6535, so very similar to the Tip Top tee that I'm doing as far as the yarn content. Ooh, wind. I'm gonna lose stuff. Okay, the very last thing I have to tell you guys about as far as what's, oh, you guys crashed. Oops. The wind is, like I said, oh my gosh. Let's see if I can fix you. Maybe I'll cut this out, or maybe I'll leave it so you guys can just giggle. What do you think, Sassy? Oops. You know what it is? This is it too. I'm convinced this is the curse of the Felix. It's getting me again. That's why it tipped over. Mercy. Okay, got a couple camping trips coming up. One with my best buddy and the other with my sister. So my sister has never knitted a garment before, ever. She knits beautifully. Socks, hats, whatever, shawls, beautifully. Never knitted a garment. Always afraid of it. So we are going camping. My birthday's coming the end of the month. And we are going to cast on. Are you guys ready for this? And this is why that thing tipped over. This is the curse of the Felix with me. Oh, I didn't tell you. Speaking of curse of the Felix, I fixed the arms. We now have 2 arms that are the same. I ended up just tearing back. I decided, though, that I didn't like the length, that it was too short. I did all this 1 by 1 rib, right? Twisted rib on it. I tore that sucker out. So, here's Felix without a bottom. Felix is going to get an extension. Felix is going to be longer. You guys know how much trouble I had with this. And this is the sweater that Dee Dee and I are going to cast on camping, because she's never knitted a garment. And like, this is one that I should be helping her with. She has no clue. Nobody has a clue I even do this podcast, except for my husband. I haven't told anybody. Anybody else that is probably no other podcast watching, but Oh, maybe Joe. And Katie and Linda, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I know Katie's mom knows, and her family may know. I haven't told anybody. We've kept it super secret from the boy, the grandkids. Nobody knows. Just John and I. So anyway, we're going to cast that on, if you can believe it. And hopefully I'll have that one done by then. Those that have followed along with the Felix saga will understand and maybe appreciate my pain. Oh my gosh. I wanted to just tell you a couple of books because I kind of always enjoy. I see we're at 40 minutes, so I'm going to try and speed it up here a little bit. But a couple of books, again, like I've mentioned, I am very fascinated in the World War II history era. I realize these are fiction, but a couple of them, well, several that I've read, have some historical value to them. That's correct. And the last one that I just read, Salt to the Sea by Ruta, Ruta, Sepetus, S-E, P as in Paul, E, T as in Tom, Y, S as in Sam, Sepetus, was really good. And I learned a lot about a ship that was attempting to get immigrants out. It's just, I didn't realize about this. There were more lives lost than the Titanic, and we don't hear about it. And you know, why is that? That was the Felix. I think it's time. We need to call it a day. Anyway, also the other one that I just listened to was called Before I Let You Go. And a trigger warning if you've had a loved one that, or you yourself have struggled with drug addiction and eventually lost with children involved, it's not one for you. It's a book by Kelly Rimmer, and I think because I'm an ER nurse and I've worked around and treated and cared for so many people with addiction, and addiction in our area with meth is horrific. I did not realize the drugs and crime in my small community until I started working at this last hospital 5 years ago. I come from a level 2 trauma where, you know, it's the largest hospital, well, sees the most patients in the state of Washington. It has the largest that way, and a lot of crime, a lot of shootings, you name it. But I didn't realize it was in my little community. And that was at first really, really tugged. Well, it opened my eyes, let me tell you that. So that's not a book for everyone, but for me, I got a lot out of the book, especially seeing the family's perspective. And I just started another one by Kelly Rimmer, and it's called The German Wife. I'm not into it really far enough, but it is also kind of around World War II. After the war, some people migrating to the States. And so far, it's good. Anyway, thank you again for watching if you made it through this. I really was trying to be more organized this time than y'all fell over. And, you know, it's Felix. I mean, it's Felix's fault. It's after me. He's trying to get me still. I really appreciate your comments. I enjoy starting to learn personalities. It does mean a lot to me. People say, oh, I enjoy it. You really do. When you do this and you have people that comment and let you know, even if it's something they think you need to do differently, I appreciate it because I know they're paying attention, and I am all about improving, and I hope I am improving. But they really personally mean a lot to me. And if you would like and subscribe, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the like button, the bell. I'm trying to do around every 2 weeks. That seems about right for me. I hope you stick around to see some snippets from our life here at Boxerville. I'll be putting in update on the garden. I've had some comments on the garden and how much people have enjoyed it. I also love it a lot, and I have some great pictures of the swallowtail butterflies in the garden, as I mentioned. They weren't as active here today, but I hope you got to see a few of them along with the hummingbirds. And as always, please, if you are looking to add an addition to your home of the four-legged variety, consider adopting and not shopping. because the life you save could be your best friend. And you saw one of mine here. You've seen both of them. And I'm going to try to, they're actually laying in the sun now. They were close here next to me, but they're sunbathing. But you'll see some more towards the end of it. Take care, my friends. As always, it's fun to sit and talk with you, and I hope you enjoy the same. Okay? Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Thought I'd do just a quick garden update, and I actually wanted to show Ivana from TheRepublicOfMe my hoop house. And I hope that she's able to see this, but this is my hoop house, and this was what I was talking about as far as the greens. Now we plant this, we are Zone 7, Washington State, and we plant this usually the end of March, close to the 1st of April. Our last frost date is technically, they say, around April 25th, but it was earlier this year. So we do the cut and come again. As you see, it is a very crowded plant. This is probably 4 feet by 6 feet, maybe 5 feet by 6 feet. It's not square by no means. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we do cut and come again, and I just kind of work through, and you can see this has all been cut in the front here, the shorter stuff where we've eaten it, and I've started working from the back end this way, and we'll get those. And by that time, as you can see, this has all grown back again. We've been doing this for several years. This isn't proper visqueen color for a greenhouse, but as you can see, it works. And it's just hoops from Lowe's, and my husband built all of my containers. I had to have back surgery, and so after that I was unable to get into the ground garden to bend over that well anymore, so he built all of the containers for me. But mostly I wanted Ivana to see my hoop house. My handsome baby boy. Oh, Recipe. Look at those supermodel legs on that guy. Can you believe it? He is so handsome.